Hello, dear students. My name is Bankeshwar Panigrahi. So, in our last class, we have discussed about interrupt and the different types of interrupts. So, today we are going to start a new topic, that is direct memory access mechanism. So, here we will discuss about how the data are accessed directly from the memory location and how the data transfers from one memory to another memory location. So these are the topics related with the direct memory access method. So DMA, that is stands for a direct memory access and is a method of transferring data from the computer's RAM to another part of the computer without processing it using the CPU. That means in direct memory access mechanism, if the transfer of data from computer's RAM, that is your primary memory, to another part of the computer, that means either to the hard disk or either to the external storage devices, or maybe used to transfer the data for our display purpose. How the data are transferred from the primary memory to different locations by using the CPU. This is the main motto of direct memory access method. So while most data is input or output from your computer is processed by the CPU, some data does not require processing or can be processed by another device. So in these situations, DMA can save processing time and is a more efficient way to move data from the computer's memory to another device or other devices. That means when the most data, that is input or output from your computer, is processed by the CPU, from that data some informations are not required for processing, or they can be processed by some other devices. So there the DMA can save the processing time. Direct memory access mechanism can save the processing time, and it is more efficient way to move data from the computer's memory or the primary memory to the other devices. Okay. So in order for devices to use direct memory access, they must be assigned to a DMA channel. So each type of port on a computer has a set of DMA channels that can be assigned to each connected device. For example, a PCI controller and a hard drive controller, each of their own set of DMA channels. Okay, so it is the diagram for the DMA controller, what are the different types of parts that are controlled by the DMA. Okay, so here CPU use the DMA controller and the secondary memory. Okay, so the peripherals are also controlled by the DMA controller, and the memory, the DMA bus are also controlled by the direct memory access mechanism. Okay, so for example, a sound card may need to access data stored in the computer's RAM, but since it can process the data itself, it may use DMA to bypass the CPU. That means when a sound card needs to access the data stored in the computer's RAM or in the primary memory of the computer system, since it can process the data itself, it uses the direct memory access to bypass the CPU. That means when the sound card wants to access the data, those are stored in the computer's primary memory, it will process the data itself and it uses the help of the DMA controller to pass the informations to the CPU. Okay. So video cards that support direct memory access can also access the system memory and process graphics without needing the CPU. So ultra DMA hard drives use DMA to transfer data faster than previous hard drives that required the data to first be run through the CPU. That means the hard drives before we are using, they are quite slow in processing, but after the use of direct memory access mechanism, so now the hard drives what we are using in our computer systems, they are working much faster than the older hard drives, those we are using in the computer system. Okay. So an alternative to DMA is the programmed input output, or it can be shortcutly termed as PIO interface, in which all data transmitted between devices goes through the processor. Okay. Next is, so what are the transfer types are there? How we can transfer the data from one device to another device inside our computer system. Okay, by using the DMA, they are given here. Okay, they are termed as the DMA transfer types. First is memory to memory transfer. In this mode, block of data from one memory address is moved to another memory address. In this mode, current address register of channel 0 is used to point the source address, and the current address register of channel is used to point the destination address in the first transfer cycle. Data byte from the source address is loaded in the temporary register of the DMA controller, and in the next transfer cycle, the data from the temporary register is stored in the memory pointed by destination address. That means when the memory to memory transfer is going on, then there are two ends. One is known as the source end, or the source location of the memory, and second one is also known as the destination location of the memory. So each and every location memories, they are having their own address and their own register. So the data can put the addresses of the registers, and the data can transfer from one data register to the another data register by the help of the address. Okay. So the source address is given to the memory from which we are going to transfer the data, and to which we are going to give the data, that is also given by an address that is called the destination address. Okay. And the DMA controller here working as a mediator to transfer the data from memory to memory, or the source address memory to destination address memory, by the help of the registers. Okay. It is transfers the data from one location to another memory location. Okay. So next is auto initialize. So in this mode, during the initialization, the base address and word count registers are loaded simultaneously with the current address and word count registers by the microprocessor. Okay. So here we are using the microprocessor as a auto initialize mechanism, which can initialize as automatically, and it helps to transfer the data from one location to another location by the means of reading the addresses in the direct memory access mechanism. Okay, that's why it is given here that in this mode, during the initialization, the base address and word count registers are loaded simultaneously with the current address and word count registers by the microprocessor. So the address and the count in the base registers remain unchanged throughout the DMA service. So after the first block transfer, that is, after the activation of the EOP signal and of processing signal, the original values of the current address and current word count registers are automatically restored from the base address and the base word count register of that channel. After auto initialization, the channel is ready to perform another DMA service without the CPU intervention. That means when the processing is going on, that is the transfer of data from one memory location to another memory location, the original values of the addresses that given to the memory locations and the current word count registers are automatically restored after the block of data can be transferred from one memory location to another memory location, and what the base addresses are there, they are also restored by the word count registers of that channel to the each and every memory locations. And after auto initialization, again the channel is ready to perform another type of DMA service without giving the time the CPU to idle. Okay. So this is all about the DMA transfer types and DMA controller. Okay. You go through the lectures carefully, and if you have any doubts, then आसान। ओके, थैंक यू।